Hi everyone, this is Balázs from RacingBrick. After all the Formula 1 madness, I thought we would take a break from the world of open-wheel racing, and in the next episode of my Rebrickable series, we take a look at some real American muscle. You could already see a lot of alternate or B models based on Technic and Speed Champion sets on the channel, but since many of you have been asking for completely scratch-built models, here they are. This is a scale and category that doesn't really exist in the official LEGO world. 12 stud-wide realistic car builds from Gnat.bricks. This is the page of the designer on Rebrickable, who is also called Balázs. What a coincidence! As you can see, he has already built quite a few cars in this 12 stud-wide category, but previously he has also designed some alternate builds. I really like the Charger, which was built from the Camaro, or the white Batmobile, which is made from parts from the Porsche 911. Today I have 4 of his cars here. These are practically the latest designs. And yes, as you've probably already seen, he's offering a decent discount on the instructions just for RacingBrick viewers. I will give you the details at the end of the video. It's really not easy to decide on a car to start with, but since I have a separate demonstration build of the Mustang Dark Horse, let's take a look at that one. Here is the Speed Champion's Dark Horse and the older Creator Expert Ford Mustang along with this build, so you can see the scale better. In the Creator Expert or Icon sets, we expect a lot more detail than in Speed Champions, even though these already offer a lot of building tricks. But at this scale, we expect working steering, opening doors and sometimes even more cool features. Well, the designer's approach to this series is slightly different. He's trying to incorporate as much brick build detail as possible, and I'm very impressed with that. All his models start with the drivetrain and chassis, and just look at the amount of detail and innovative part usage. We have the horns on the engine. You can actually see the engine block, the gearbox, the shafts, the axles, tons of small features to discover. My personal favorite is the construction of the axles and suspension. This is a battle droid torso supporting the axle, but we also have proper brakes. So that's what you build inside, and then you have a very nice and complex body with lots of tricky angles all around. Look at the part usage here at the rear with the lights, they look very cool. One important thing to note, there's no steering or suspension, but there's a reason for that. The wheels almost completely fill the wheel arches, making the car look very cool and realistic. But there are also some movable elements. Here's the nice double-hinged hood that allows you to check out the engine bay and also take a look at the tricky angles at the front, and we have doors to open as well. The interior is nice and detailed. You can see it better when I take the roof off. I also like the angled sections here behind the door. A common feature of these designs is the way the A-pillars and roof are constructed. To make them proportional, the A-pillars are mostly made of these bars that don't support the roof. You have to angle them manually, and the roof itself is only supported at the back. That means you have to be careful and you shouldn't grab the car like this. Otherwise it's quite stable, but it's definitely not a play set, it's meant to be displayed. Now let's take a look at the 1969 Chevrolet Corvette C3. This car is a real beauty. I love all the curves and angles and have great respect for the effort to recreate the complex surfaces of the real car. I know it's not really fair to put the Icon C1 next to it, but oh boy, what a difference. Compared to this car, it's a box on wheels. If we look at the underside, this build also has some features of the drivetrain, although the axles are less detailed this time. The body makes up for it though, slopes and curves all around and a very detailed front and rear section. Unfortunately there are no pop-up headlights. Balázs made a real effort, but they just didn't fit. Instead, we can take a look at the engine. Access is a bit tricky, but it works. There is no opening trunk as this car didn't have one, it has the fuel tank there. The doors can be opened though, and I have to take the roof off again to show you the detailed interior with the nice seats. You won't see any build details today, but if you take a look at the front and rear, you can see that some tricky parts and snot building techniques are used, because here parts are upside down and also sideways, then the build direction changes upwards. The next one is the 1967 Chevrolet Impala from the Supernatural series. Let's start as usual with the underside. Drivetrain, exhaust system, everything is in place. It has a boxy design, just like the real car, and you can try to guess how many minifigure ice skates are used all around. The hood opens to reveal the red engine block, which is almost lost in the huge engine compartment. Take a look at the nice smooth cover of the wheel wells from the inside. This model has a trunk and a box there with the necessary equipment to deal with anything supernatural in the TV series. There are 4 opening doors, but there is no B-pillar in this car, so the rear ones can only be opened after these, but I really respect the design and part usage here. Inside you will find the proper seats and the detailed interior. And here's the last one, the Ford Capri 2600 RS. A very cool color scheme, and let me show you the details down here, there's a lot to explore. The front suspension is again very detailed on this car. Here's the usual double-hinged opening hood with the engine bay and a nice and detailed interior. I really like the pattern on the seats. The doors require the rather tricky mechanism this time to allow for a curved body. They need some attention as the construction is not that stable. So, here are all 4 cars, and I think they look amazing, especially considering the scale. I have to emphasize again, these are display models, you need to know how to pick them up. A few things might fall off, but overall the construction is pretty sturdy. So, these are totally custom builds, there's no single Lego set you can get the parts from, you have to collect them yourself. If you look at the product page on Rebrickable, for example the Corvette, you will see the parts in the inventory. Oh, by the way, I also wanted to show this. Balázs designs these cool custom builds with instructions, but he also makes animations with his builds and also some other popular mocks and shares them on his channel. I definitely recommend you check it out, they are totally awesome. So, back to the inventory. You can see this Buy Parts tab, it will immediately show you some suggestions for sourcing the parts, but here they try to find all the parts from a single seller, which is rarely the best solution. I suggest the following approach. Use the Add Parts to Bricklink Wanted List button, create a wanted list of the parts, then go to Bricklink, and there you can use the Buy All feature to find the best combination of sellers to get your parts. This depends on your region and doesn't include shipping, but with the 4 sellers here I could buy all the parts for the Corvette for around $70 with shipping, which I think is a fair price for this build. I can test the same thing with the Mustang, which has the highest piece count from these 4, that would be about $100 with shipping, still pretty reasonable. So folks, I really recommend these builds, they look great and have a lot of nice features and building techniques. Maybe they aren't the best choice if you have no experience yet, but if you have already built a few Speed Champions and Icon sets, these ones shouldn't be a problem either. All come with detailed digital building instructions, which you can buy now with a 30% discount using the code RBGNAT30. The discount is valid until the 6th of December for all 12 statewide mocks at Gnat.bricks. You can find the link below in the description and in the pinned comment. Please let me know how you like these cars, if you want to build one or maybe all of them. Let's talk about it in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe with notifications because more exciting LEGO videos are coming soon. See you next time, bye bye.